welcome back to Full Blast Garage. On this episode, we're going to continue our duct tape drags prep on the old 1979 Transient Am. Let's get this thing put on full blast. All right, on this episode, we got a few things that we need to accomplish. So as you can see, the Trans Am looks like it had a rough night out at Greens Point. Shout out all y'all Northside Houston folks. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We're going to put some new rubber on this thing. The tires, I think, were from the 90s. We're going to bypass that heater core, show you guys how to do that. I'm going to begin ripping out the HVAC system because I'm going to put a vintage air system in it. That's the plan right now. I mean, that system's worth, I don't know, 50% of what the entire car's value is, but I am eventually going to put air conditioning in this thing because I'm not driving to Arizona. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for driving halfway across the country with no air conditioning. Sorry. But we're going to bypass that heater core. We're going to fix the leaky brand new transmission cooler. We're going to put one of them Darrell transmission coolers in it, and fingers crossed that that other brand new one doesn't leak. And then I just kind of got some tidying up, you know, stuff that comes up as I'm going through everything. I can show you all that. That's kind of the main driving force of this episode, just more prep work. Let's get this thing where it's going to be as roadworthy as it's going to be. So let's get to work. So for tires on this rig, we chose just a real specific, special type of tire made for this type of car, the old Cobra. Now, there's only about a handful of manufacturers that really make 15-inch tires anymore, and the BFGs were too expensive, and I ain't had great luck with Mastercrafts lately. So Cooper it is, but I mean, these are pretty iconic. The Cobra has been around forever. And the consensus on the internet, tire size to run on these cars when you haven't lowered them. Some guys say 255/60, some say 245/60. I went 245. I don't really care if I have that, you know, wide look. I just want it to fit and not rub. That's the main thing. I mean, I'm driving this thing halfway across the country. I don't need it rubbing, you know, on the fenders or on the frame or the control arms. I don't want to have to worry about that. That's one less thing. And when I was getting these things mounted, I've only had these tires off, I think, one time, or the wheels off the car. And it's, you know, when you're going to the tire shop and your tire man looks you just directly in the eye and don't blink, and he just tells you, right rear, passenger rear. Listen to him. Don't ask any questions. Just do it. This thing has got more weights than a Gold's Gym. I mean, I've never seen this many weights on a wheel. I asked him if it was bent, and he said no. It just kept taking weight before it finally zeroed out. But, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't lift that many weights. Jeez. But we're going to go ahead and do the right thing, put it on passenger rear, and act like we never saw it. So let's go ahead and work on getting these wheels mounted. Well, this tire looks familiar because it came off the El Camino. The person I bought it from was kind enough to have one new tire on it, and I just went ahead and repurposed it onto this guy. Could have bought the other 3 new ones he had for $200. No, that was a bad financial decision. Don't buy that. No, just wait a few months until you actually need that exact size tire. Pay like $600. That's the kind of business that I'm in. Best kind of financial decisions working on cars every day. So we're gonna go ahead, lock these guys down. crisscross pattern. And we'll torque these things down later. I'm normally about a 100 foot-pound guy. Don't try to go any more than that on these old cars. I don't want to snap the studs off, and then it's a whole ordeal getting these rotors off. And on these old Trans Ams, the hubs kind of fit a little precariously, so you can kind of wedge them on there and it not be flat against the rotor. And you need to kind of work them to where you get them perfectly flat. You wedge it in there and start tightening this thing down, especially with an impact. You could bend the wheel, and these things, they're not super strong, the wheels. All right, 2 on. I'm gonna go ahead, take care of the 2 on the other side, and then we'll take a look at this thing when I lower it down, see what our wheel well gap looks like with these 245s. The tires that were on that, if you watched the previous video, were 235/70s. So these are gonna be a little shorter, a little wider than the ones that came off. So I'm gonna go take care of the other side, then we'll cut back when I'm dropping this thing down and getting that stance right. All right, moment truth, everybody. Oh, maybe. Trying to move this plate out of the way so I can lower the jack. Dang. This thing was jammed in here. All right, moment of truth, coming down. That definitely lowered the ride height a little bit. I will say that. Hopefully we got no issue getting off the lift, because it was pretty tight to begin with. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Let's lower the lift down and get kind of a different perspective on it, kind of more straight on. Man, I like it. I think this is the right stance. If ever in the future we want to lower it just a hair, we got room. The wheels or the tires tuck enough to where we're not going to be kicking up a whole bunch of crap. But man, I think the internet might have had it right. I think 245/60. I mean, 255 probably would have worked also. But this way, I ain't got to worry about rubbing. I know for a fact, 245/60, no rub, no issue. So that's it. That's our stance. That's what she's going to be looking like going down Route 66 heading to Tucson. But yeah, let's keep on moving. Let's get that heater core wrapped up, a few little things under the hood, and let's keep working. So as we keep checking stuff off our list, we're gonna go ahead and install this 3/4 to 5/8 adapter. This will effectively loop our water circulation. So we're gonna bypass the heater core and get that. We're not having just antifreeze all over our ankles. I mean, it was even kind of wet on the driver's side. That's how much this thing was pouring out. We're gonna go ahead, take loose the 3/4 hose, take loose your 5/8 hose, insert hose barb adapter in the middle, and we're gonna need that hose barb adapter, even on the vintage air kit, you know, you guys, if you're ever gonna use one of those in the future, at least the Firebird one does only have provisions for 5/8 hose on the heater core. There is no large hose, small hose. It's all 5/8. All right, so that guy's loose. I'm gonna try and wait to the last second and pull these guys off. I don't want antifreeze just pouring everywhere. And for now, just move your hose clamps out of the way. I think I'm gonna do one at a time here. I'm gonna start with the 3/4. We pull off, get it up high, like above your upper radiator hose. That'll help kind of stop the flow some. Oh man. Ooh, it's on here. There's a real good chance there's gonna be a geyser when it finally breaks loose. All right, let me go grab some pliers. Try and spin this hose around maybe a couple times. Just move it a little. That'll kind of break that bond. Even though it really shouldn't be crazy on there because this is a brand new hose. And I'm not gonna lie, you don't have a whole lot of room to work in here. They weren't doing you any favors with all the AC equipment, and the inner fender comes up way high. All right, so we're gonna cut it. I don't think we need that length anyways. I feel like I'm gonna pull the dashboard out of the car, so let's just go ahead and snip it. Kind of using the hood hinge here as a backup. That's nice. Let's see if I can get down in there a little bit more and cut the rest of this hose. Well, she's bone dry, and that's because it all leaked out. Normally, this would be spraying out coolant. Let's go ahead and tighten this guy back up while we're here, before we forget. And I am a proponent using your sockets on these hose clamps. I feel like just getting the screwdriver out to tighten anything up anymore is just kind of losing effort. I don't know. All right. 5/8 hose came off easier. That was good. Joined. Now let's tighten it down. I think I kind of rearranged my spine there a little bit, pulling on that 3/4 hose. The joys of getting old. All right, so we're definitely going to want to fill our antifreeze because it has lost probably at least a gallon, I bet, if I had to guess. We're going to want to fix this somewhere where it's out of the way. The hood won't pinch it and it won't get rubbed like crazy. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But got that thing looped. Let's head on to the replacing the brand new transmission cooler. That's always fun. All right, Daryl, don't let me down. I'm gonna try and do like a quick change where I put the hose on the new one real quick and it won't leak. All right, come on. Oh, I'm losing trans fluid. Try to get my drain pan in the right spot. Oh, it's all over the place. All right. I was hoping doing the bottom on this thing, at least it wouldn't flow and fill up and pour out the top yet before I could get them both on there. Woo! Good Lord. The cooler had a little bit of fluid in it. Let me tell you. Dang. Might be saving that and pouring it back in the trans. Holy crap. All right. Top hose coming on. All right, so what you want to do is get these guys hand tight. Then you definitely need to use a backup because you will spin the fitting and break it. Man, I got drops of transmission fluid just everywhere. Great. Trying not to make a mess, and this is what happens. All right, oh man. It's still just puking. How? You were leaking. All right. Got it actually in the pan now. Covered. I'm covered in it. All right, guys, I'm gonna get our wrenches back out, tighten these things up, and I'll get this thing kind of mocked up where it's just gonna rest for now and show you guys kind of the final zip tie location of this thing. I mean, we are preparing for the duct tape drag, so nothing's supposed to be too nice. All right, well, here's where it's gonna live until this old condenser gets replaced. She's mounted up real tight with zip ties. So I hope Chip Foose solves all his problems in life with zip ties too. So just something to think about. But there she is. Another thing checked off the list. Let's go ahead and work on this hood scoop a little bit. All right, I'm gonna start by taking the fiberglass part of this shaker thing off first. And this just has a ring that tightens around your airbox lid. You have to loosen this guy up to where it'll pop off. Not real complicated. Getting it back on is not super easy, I'll be honest with you. And it looks, I don't know, we're gonna have to just kind of shoot for a couple different sizes here, but she's gotta come up a few inches, I'd say for sure. Now I got these plastic rings slide under the air filter housing. We'll see what I can do with those. So I got these plastic spacer rings, and I'm hoping these will get it up near where she's supposed to go. I mean, if I had to guess, that's 2 inches. And will it fit? It's pretty tight. Don't know if it'll stay on there. Maybe if I put the air filter on, give it some weight. There we go. This is kind of mock-up. All right, so you guys that own these, is this high enough? I don't know. we gonna run into something? We're closing the hood now. Let me see. I mean, if I had to guess, that kind of looks right. I think the spacing's a little off. I think we're gonna call that good. I don't think it needs to go any higher. I can kind of center this thing a little bit better. But there we go, we solved one problem. We got our spacing right on our shaker hood. All right, so now I got the lift kit on the air filter. I'm gonna go ahead and try and just adjust these hood hinges a little. The back kicked up like this, like the hood don't want to close all the way in the back. Side to side, I can kind of live with that. Now to adjust that, you're gonna want to loosen all your hinges and then pick up on the hood back here from the front. And that'll kind of tilt it and you can lock it down. We'll see. This might even make it worse. This thing's already moving a bunch, just loosening that one. Well, the back bolt wasn't even tight, so maybe there is a chance for this thing. Might have to grab like a piece of wood or something. I bet these guys put this together had the hinges completely off and just smoked them on just to get the hood attached. All right, one side. Move you guys a little so you can see the other side. No, so it is just 2 bolts. I was loosening up actually a fender bolt on that side. Oh well. I mean, falling down in the front, not exactly what we want to be seeing here. We really want the opposite. We want it to tilt back. Let's see, I might have a piece of wood here. I can kind of wedge somewhere. Oh, that might be perfect. That's got a little tension on it, I ain't gonna lie. Let's go ahead, snug these guys back down. That might be overkill. I see a whole ton of adjustment in these hinges and I'm maxing it out. So tighten these guys back down, see what happens. Could be a mistake, not gonna lie. I'm not a body man. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you understand what I'm talking about. Go back and watch me wrench on that El Camino. All right. Man, this might be so far down that the hood won't even close. I don't know. I might have to actually loosen the hood, shift it over some. Definitely want these bolts tight. If you don't, it'll just constantly shift on you. I'm sure these hinges were made to be adjusted to the max. Probably not, if I had to guess. All right, now let's see what we've done here. Go down slow with her. Am I hitting something? I think the hood, the whole hood needs to come out. It's gonna need to come out now. It's in a bind for sure. Good Lord. She's definitely got a bow to her. I'd say it could come up a hair. We might need to take one piece of plastic off our lift kit. The hood needs to come forward a hair. We're gonna have to loosen those bolts, pull it forward. I don't think our shaker would ever fit like this. So let's keep on adjusting. All right, so we're just gonna slide her forward just a hair. Come on now. And this hood definitely is bowed, and I do not think this is a factory shaker hood. I think somebody made a shaker out of this, if I had to guess. Man, every time you wrench on that thing, you just hear stuff falling. All right, let's see. Did coming forward help us at all? I mean, it slid it forward a hair, kind of more on this side than this. I think I'm gonna adjust this side over here and probably call it good. And we're gonna need to take one piece of plastic out of our lift kit and we'll be good. All right, the hood's adjusted as good as it's gonna be. This thing is floppy, and from the looks of it, sort of homemade. Took two pieces out of the lift kit, so I think she's lifted maybe a little over an inch right now. And with the hood spaced back down, I think that's perfect. I think that's as high as you can bring this guy. I mean, there's definitely some gaps, but there it is. There she be. The hood just, it's rippled and tin canned in spots. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I would probably buy a new one. But it's gonna do for the poverty tour. So let's keep on working, just checking off little stuff here and there to get this thing where I can try out these new shoes. PCV valve. It's It's been just blocked off on the carb. Let's go ahead and get that installed. And I'm always recommending to run one just for, I mean, engine deposits and stuff like that. It helps keep stuff clean. It might sludge up your intake manifold, but this does an excellent job of keeping everything from just sludge growing everywhere. So PCV in. I'm going to put the other vent in that goes in the driver's side valve cover. Then I'm going to work on the old coolant overflow bottle. And we're just knocking stuff out, trying to avoid touching any kind of wiring. All right, PCV system, check. Coolant overflow bottle. Make sure you can get the lid off. I've had some of these that were like glued down and it made it harder once I already installed it to try and get the cap off. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse what's here so I ain't gotta use any more of my hose, but I'm gonna go ahead and slap this thing on here using this hose, and then just, this thing's getting zip tied here to just random hoses I have kind of laying around here. The charcoal canister's still in this thing, so that will be some decent hoses that I can just kind of zip tie off to. And just make sure you got that nipple on the bottom and the cap's on top. That's all you gotta do. So check, and then I'm gonna refill the system with antifreeze. Go ahead and get some more antifreeze in this thing to kind of compensate for everything that we've been leaking out through the heater core. And I would check this again after you run it, get it hot. There's a chance we got some air pockets in here, especially with that hose being empty. All right. That looks like it's full for now. I'm gonna go ahead, just kind of glance around this thing, and we might be putting a bow on it for this episode. We need to get a few miles on this thing, especially since it's got tires, hopefully a fully functioning cooling system, an air intake system. I know the alternator works, so we're charging, so we got everything to put it on the road, hopefully. So we'll see. Let me get this thing started, take a look at the temps, make sure everything's good. We're calling it a day. All right, let's try and crank this thing up and see what we got. Been a few days. Buzzer. Let's try 3 pumps. I got a feeling this thing's a thirsty girl on startup. Let's give it 4 more. I did adjust the timing back a couple degrees, just loosened it up, gave it a hint less timing because I noticed when it got hot it didn't really want to turn over, and it didn't feel like a starter issue. It felt more like a timing's too advanced issue. So let's see, let's get it warmed up, see if it'll idle on its own with all the air filter and everything else. PCV valve. Go, she's idling. No choke on this thing, so you kind of got to do a manual warm up. But it ain't bad. I say, we slam the hood and I'm gonna take this thing on a ride. But that's about all the wrenching I'm doing on this episode. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in to another episode on the old Transient Am, getting it ready for the duct tape drags and the pole barn garage poverty tour. Man, we got a lot done. We got new shoes, got radiator overflow, I got the hood shaker thing sitting where it's supposed to. I got the leaky brand new transmission cooler out, new Daryl in. And I mean, I had some little wiring stuff I didn't show that I kind of, you know, just churched up a little bit just to cruise it around the ranch some more. But man, I got to get registration and insurance on this thing to get it out on the road. I guess that might be my next step here. I mean, I gotta put some road miles on it, maybe 1,000 miles on it before, you know, I'll trust this thing to take me across the country and back. But man, I want to thank everybody again watching an episode. There's going to be much more to come on this thing. We're putting vintage air in it. We're getting it real nice, especially on the inside, because, you know, that's where I'm living for a few days in it. But yeah, until you see in one of my next videos, man, just go out, do something that makes you happy. Like getting you an old drag car ready for a $5,000 and under show. That'll make you happy. I'll see y'all later.